there. Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. You know you missed it. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and we've gotten the band back together.
I think you made a rhyme, too. Was that a rhyme you kicked off with?
How long has it been since we've all been in the same room?
About 6 inches, darling.
7 years.
Are you judging by the smell?
It seems like. Well, let's get right to who is here with me because, this is exciting. We're all back together. Hey, everyone. This is Liza, and I'm happy. I am happy.
I feel like we should clap our hands or something.
And you know it.
Exactly.
Joining me on the board, it's everybody's favorite stump. It's Stumpy John.
I am king of the Bergman, baby. Just call me the Bergman Whisperer.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. On the classy girl couch, bringing back her wheeze. It's Miss Emma.
Hello, darlings. It seems so long since I've been here. I've been away for a long time, haven't I?
Yeah.
I've missed your amorous eyes. Not your
Oh.
wheeze so much. Really, that's what you come up with, the
No,
wheeze?
I can't be wheezy. I can't be wheezy.
And a bit times breezy.
Yes, always breezy, especially
Maybe-
when I've been at the Indian food.
Maybe sleazy?
Always sleazy. Always.
Her pants were quite breezy today.
Sometimes you're cheesy.
But swinging easy.
And, of course, everyone's favorite naked guy. It's Naked Jim.
Oh, hey. Just bring firewood.
Did I tell you that at Vintage Days, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, we got our own Naked Jim. You want to meet him?"
No.
And
The
I'm
answer's
like,
always no.
No, I don't. I got one. I'm good. I don't need any more.
One is
Box
plenty.
checked.
Don't want to push my luck with that one.
Yeah.
Of course, saving best for last. Coming to us all the way from sunny Velveeta, Santa Cruz, it's Bagel.
It is I in the house today for the first time in quite a while.
I know, you're here with
Yeah.
us.
Yes, it's good to be here.
Well, and just a quick recap. Bagel and John and I were all at Vintage Days last weekend.
Yep.
I'm still catching up on sleep.
Me too.
We don't go there to sleep.
No, we don't.
Nope.
And Emma, you've been out and about for quite a bit.
I have. I have been to, in no particular order of importance, Germany, Austria, Italy, France, England,
Yeah.
and other countries as well.
He lost track.
I lost track.
Well, and we've got a lot to catch up. Hopefully you listened to last week's episode with Vintage Days where we did our recordings there. And Emma, we're going to have to wait a couple weeks to hear your stories.
Well, we've got some ride reports. Scotty's got a ride report. I've got a ride report. But we've got, it's summertime with the Misfits. We've got a full agenda. We just got to get through stuff. But I promise I will give you all, dear listeners, a detailed ride report because we had an absolutely frigging epic time. And I just want to say, and it is time sensitive, there are still places left on the Tuscany tour. So if you have a mind to actually go touring in Europe...
October?
Yes.
Yeah,
You're going
October
back for that
6th,
one?
I think.
Are you going back for that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, awesome.
It is a Miss Emma and Cat Leod training tour. And there are still a couple of places left. So if you're kind of on the fence, sign up. Cat and Mouse will do you a screaming deal. So, and I want to go riding with
I
you.
just had a special request for a subsection of your ride report, food specific.
Well, we can't get to it yet.
I'm not saying now. I'm just giving the time to
right.
prep. I would
Everything
like.
you ate?
I always want to hear more about the food.
Oh, the food's always good, yes.
Well, right now, I need to make a big announcement.
Uh-oh.
So, this episode is brought to you by Insta360, the best action camera for motorcycles.
Action!
In fact, Emma, you saw the big box of cameras and accessories they sent us.
Oh, this is beautiful gear. It really is. And we're not saying that because they're sponsoring us. Ching, ching. No, it's really not. It's really good quality gear.
Yeah.
They gave us a bunch of cameras to give away.
Woohoo!
and accessories and all sorts of stuff. We got
There was like a whole motorcycle accessory kit.
and
box
the
thing in there.
and the selfie sticks, and they even sent us the memory cards, like everything you will need.
Everything you need. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to give them away. But there are rules you must follow.
So I'm excited. So we're having a contest.
Yes.
So this contest is going to last for 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to send us your entry if you would like to win Insta360. We've got Insta360 X4, which is the newest.
Right.
And then we also have the Insta360 Ace Pro. The 360 X4 is worth, that's a $500 camera.
Right.
And the Ace Pro is a $400 camera. And then we have all these accessories. And then we also have some other stuff like some water cups, water bottles, stuff like that for runners up. Yes, Jim.
Yeah, I had a question because I had asked you the other day when you were showing it to me. It basically, it's similar to a GoPro. It has a lot of cooler features and stuff, but I didn't really know what the difference was. I was like, I know it does the 360 thing.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Well,
can you walk through all this stuff again?
no. Because later on in this episode, I did an interview with Michael Shaboon from Insta360, who explained everything, all the features,
Nice.
and why it is the best. So stay tuned for that. But let me
Wasn't
announce.
that a song in the 1950s? Shaboon, shaboon.
Let me announce how you can win a camera. All you have to do is send us your limerick or haiku about your motorcycle, and we will pick our favorites. It's that simple. The prizes, again, will be an Insta360 X4 and an Insta360 Ace Pro. These will come with accessories, mounts, and SD cards. Everything you need to get started. We also have some water bottles for runners up. All you have to do is send your entries to motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com with Insta360
Nice.
in the subject line.
And it shouldn't make a difference, but myself and John will be judging them.
No.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
Can we
so-
use the word Nantucket?
Yes.
Yes, you get.
So anyone wwho includes hard cash will certainly get
In an
further
email?
up the pecking order. No, just it can be rude, it can be funny, it can be poignant, it can be
Emma?
But it should be
For
passionate.
people who aren't familiar with a limerick, can you give us an example?
Yes, I shall give you a limerick. There was a young man from Devizes whose bollocks were two different sizes. One weighed a pound and dragged on the ground, the other's as big as a fly's.
There we
So
go.
there you are. That is a perfect
Hussy.
example of a limerick, you see. So
I guess ideally they should have a motorcycle in them somewhere, though.
Yeah.
Or mostly
well,
just
about
testicles.
one of your motorcycles.
right,
That's it.
not just a motorcycle. Basically, what I'm looking for is a love poem to your motorcycle.
So I was riding my bike to Nantucket
Yes,
with a grip and a grin. I said, "Fuck it."
yes, exactly.
Off the cliff.
Well, you
I
could
went.
be a winner.
Because I lost all my luck at. There you go.
But no, what I'm looking for, because I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm looking for a love poem to your motorcycle. That's what I'm going to judge
Top tip.
highly.
Yeah.
However, John may judge something quite differently. He likes the rude stuff and crude.
Anytime you could mix a fart in there with your motorcycle, that would work for me.
What do you like?
Nothing but
Include a
class.
recording of a fart?
If you can rhyme,
in haiku form.
yes.
How would you spell
Hold
a
on,
fart?
Well, you're great.
Hold on,
This
hold
just
on,
went
hold on.
downhill
This
quick.
is just
Sorry,
going down.
that's my junior high.
So here's how it's going to work. Send us your entries, motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. Next week, we will read some of the entries on the air, share them, and announce there's 1 week left. And then 2 weeks from today, we will pick the winners and read the winners
Liza.
on the air. It's that simple.
Liza, for the uninitiated, what is haiku?
Jim, you have an example for us?
575.
There you go.
Yep.
Rhyme it out. It works.
Okay.
So 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. Tends to have to do with nature, but not necessarily. And it's cool if each line doesn't necessarily make sense with the other lines.
Right. It's a very creative process.
Can you dig it?
Yes, but it doesn't
Yes, I
necessarily need to rhyme. It doesn't necessarily. need to follow on with the next. But creativity, let your creative juices flow. I want to hear about your motorcycle. I want to hear about your relationship with your motorcycle.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm really happy to be partnering
I
with
got
him.
it, but it's X-rated.
Oh.
Do it. Do it now.
I rode my bike to Mass, whereupon I got fucked in the ass. Sorry.
Beep,
No. You can edit that out.
no.
Well, you can't encourage me and then shame
We're sorry,
me.
Pope Francis. That wasn't for you.
Could I offer a motorcycle haiku that I found
Yes,
online?
please, Bagel.
Summer calls me. Come ride your motorcycle. Live without your cage.
Oh, short and sweet.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of cages, real quick, part of the reason Bagel is here is he was nice enough to drive the faded sidecar, the Benelli sidecar, which, by the way, Emma, I don't know why we didn't come up with this, but the guys came up with a better name for my Benelli.
Deathstrap.
No, they call it Liza Benelli.
Oh, God.
That's perfect.
How did we not think
we
of
need
that?
some show hands along with that one.
her middle name is Jazz
a
Hands.
cabaret, old chum. Yeah, fantastic.
So I brought that sidecar here, bolted it onto the Benelli. I have here.
Terrifying.
I thought you were going to call it the leg chopper.
It is terrifying. It is. Can you agree now that you've seen it, Emma? It was engineered completely wrong.
It's not the route I would have taken to bolt a sidecar on. And, so many good mounting points were ignored.
Yes.
Yeah. So what a disappointment. So we're playing with it and seeing if we can find another use for it here.
Right.
But Emma, it's so great to have you back.
I just wrote a haiku in my head.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Streaking lights. Engine like a banshee. Is it Armageddon? No, it's Rufus in the power band.
Is that a haiku?
No, I don't think so.
Close enough for me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
I guess if you weld a couple of them together.
Yeah.
But Emma, it is so great to have you back. We missed each other while
I missed
you were
you.
gone. We were here, and then we all went away, and you were here running the garage. Thank you for covering that. And then I'm back for 2 weeks, and then I'm gone again.
Right. And
So
I
we're
want to
going
make
back and forth.
something clear, and I've said this before a few times on the podcast, but it's always worth reiterating because we always have new listeners. But there's this relationship that is implied when we do the show, but it's quite real. I mean, the Misfits absolutely are my second family, and yours, and yours, and yours, and yours. And the fact of the matter is, when we don't get together, we miss each other terribly. Or well, depending on your point of view.
It was a long time without Emma. That was hard. It's fun having you back.
Yeah, it's fun to be back.
I've missed you too.
And, of course, I want to give a big thanks to Unky Phil
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for
Thank you, Phil.
hosting us. He is the host with the most.
Indeed. Fantastic time.
And Sleepy Steve for
oh, yeah.
supplying us.
Yeah, we had a really good time, and we found out the trick, Jim. The trick to a successful Vintage Days is putting Stumpy John out in a tent.
Stumpy John was very happy out there in the tent, so I didn't have to listen to you assholes yell at me all night long and stuff being thrown at me. So
I wasn't even there. Explain, Liza. What do you mean?
No, I mean, I say we don't go there to sleep, but it turns out you could actually sleep when you don't have John in the same trailer with you. So that worked out real good.
you all can bite me.
Well, just to get this back on track, I want to say another great thing that we're partnering with Insta360 is that they brought us one of their partners who's been on my list to interview for quite a long time. And so they helped make this happen. So big thanks to Insta360. And I'm so glad to say that joining us tonight on the show, and we got a lot of questions prepared. For years, I've been waiting to ask some questions here. But you might know him as Ryan F9, Ryan Fortnine, Ryan K. I think he goes by a lot of names. I call him that guy on that YouTube channel. We got Ryan here. Ryan, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing very well. Thanks very much for having me.
He's real.
He is real. Look, he's real and everything. He's got a nice shirt on. Hello, Ryan.
Yeah, I wore it just for you.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Ryan, so thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of misfits in here. And
I was going to say, it looks like there's tons of you.
Yeah.
I've got this sort of split screen. I'm going to start counting misfits here, but what, 4 or 5?
There's
like
5 of us here in the room, yes.
Okay.
But there's always more, Ryan. There are always more.
Yeah, you got
waiting
me.
in the wings.
Hey, this is Liza, and you got John, Emma, Bagel, and Naked Jim.
John, Emma, Bagel, and Naked Jim.
Correct.
Yep.
Sweet. I don't see any nudity, so
Yeah, well, the camera's
coming.
just
Yeah,
angled
it's coming.
This
right.
time, yeah. Court order.
For everyone who doesn't know, Ryan, you are the host, I guess, producer of the Fortnine videos, which I did some research and found out Fortnine isn't a real thing.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you mean?
It's a made-up name. No, when you guys were picking a name.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a Fortnine.
Exactly.
We back in the day used to be called Canada's Motorcycle, and that worked well for us until we started dealing in things that weren't motorcycles, and also in places that weren't in Canada. So we decided to come up with a new name that meant nothing, and voila, Fortnine meant nothing at the time.
It works.
So,
Well, Ryan, as a Brit, I'm constantly reminded that in England we say 2 weeks is a fortnight. And
Right,
so
yeah.
Fortnite, very, very similar. But of
Oh,
course, there's
tell
Fortnite
me
the
about
game
it.
now, yeah.
yeah, that's it. I think when we switched our name, Fortnite blew up. The video game blew up.
Right.
Only a number of weeks later. And we were like, crap, what does this mean? Or is the name garbage now? Is the internet always going to confuse the two things? And it's been okay. Generally, Google's smart enough to know whether you're searching for Fortnine. If you're in that small percentage of motorcyclists who want something from Fortnine, or if you're searching for Fortnite, the global phenomenon that's popular with billions and billions of young people around the world. So the internet's smart enough. Didn't end up hurting us in the end. Probably helped us because we probably get a few kids searching for Fortnite who have fat thumbs and
learn about
videos.
Motorcycles. And what the hell is wrong with that, I say? Nothing.
Nothing. No. I welcome any traffic, even if it's mistaken. It's all good.
Well, something that I really enjoy about the Fortnite videos is that it covers so many different things. You're not coming from one angle; it's many. You got riding tips, like you're leaning wrong. I like that one. Bike and gear reviews, anything from you can get a brand new GS or 1300 GS to an 81 Silverwing.
Yeah.
Okay, time to review that now, which I think is funny. Emma, you may enjoy this. A lot of times, I think really what you are great at, Ryan, is breaking things down and how they work. And I really enjoyed the one on the Wankel rotary engine.
Yeah.
That one is
very
really
kind.
cool.
Thank you.
Or I like the other one, how the EPA is ruining motorcycles, and just breaking down and explaining how things work, anywhere from an engine to the government. But I especially love that you are not afraid of controversial subjects. And
no, certainly not.
Yeah, I put out a message to a lot of our Patreon subscribers asking for questions, and almost everyone came back with the same question.
Oh,
which we're not going to get to yet, but I'm just going to tip it off for you,
what
Ryan.
a tease.
You probably know what it is about.
Okay.
The motorcycle Armour.
was my guess,
to know.
yeah.
Everyone wants to know. But I wanted to first get to a little bit of your history. And a lot of people wonder, where you came from, how you got this job. If you can just give that description of how you got the dream job.
Sure. The short answer is that I got it on Craigslist. I was a kid coming out of uni, needed to pay a bill, went to Craigslist looking for job ads, and there was this company, Canada's Motorcycle, that wanted to hire a writer to write a blog. Blogs were the it thing on the internet at the time. Actually, it was a little late still, but they were more of an it thing on the internet than they are now. And I'd done some writing for magazines while I was studying, so I thought, this is pretty close. Rode motocross since I was 11, so bikes are no stranger to me.
Is your degree in engineering, or what was your studies?
I did two. One in physics,
Okay,
which
that
is where
makes
a lot
sense.
of the engineering stuff comes from. And the other one is art history, which doesn't appear on the channel quite as often as the physics does.
It'd be fun to work that in. Figure that out.
Oh man, I've tried a couple times. We just released a video where I tried to do this logos pathos thing, which is related to some of the stuff that we studied in art history, just very tangentially. And we did a video once on the aesthetics of motorcycles, what makes them appealing, serpentine curves and this kind of thing with an FTR 1200. So I've forced the square peg through the round hole a few times with art history, but I think for the most part, the physics is closer to home. And even there, I'm stretching. Like, I really should have studied mechanical engineering, but well, you make mistakes when you're 18.
But I want to say that your videos do have a very artistic touch to them. There's a lot of very breathtaking scenery that's shown in there. So I think that there is a little bit that does translate into your videos.
Appreciate it. It's very kind. I can't take much credit for that. I'm fortunate enough to work with a shooter who's brilliant, and it's mostly his eye that people see. And
you want to give him some credit?
Who, me?
You know the name. Who
oh, yeah,
do you give
for
credit?
Sure. Yeah, so Anish Shavanikar I've been shooting with for many years now, since 2017. I think we shot our first video together. He's brilliant. A lot of the Fortnine videos that people think are core, like that establish our visual identity and the way that we film and tell stories. That's a lot of his work. He's incredible. Since then, we've built out a little bit more. So that Logos Pathos video that I just mentioned was shot with Girish Apana, another shooter and editor who has a brilliant eye and a super, super clean editing style, fast turnarounds will get you a rough cut in like a day. So people who are pleased with the volume of Fortnite productions probably have Girish to thank for a lot of that. And then Edwin Albenu is I think the newest member of our team. Phenomenal, comes from the proper film industry, real movies, real television. In Lebanon, he worked in sound design first. He's an incredible musician and sometimes composes things that we end up using in our videos. So if you're having a good time acoustically, then Edwin is probably the guy that you want to thank there. We always work as teams of two. So any single video is always a two-man production. So I might be writing and hosting, researching, presenting the video, and then we would have someone like Anish who's going to then come on board and shoot it and do the edit and be heavily involved in post-production and ultimately get it out there. So always teams of two, but it could be one of those three guys that I mentioned.
If I could ask, I mean, how much creativity are you actually allowed? Because this, I mean, I want to make it clear, this is your paid job.
For sure.
Right. So are you given... When you're given a directive and saying this is what you want to review, just go about it in your own inimitable style and get your team together, or are you given quite clear directives of this is a certain point we want you to get across, or flesh that out for us?
Yeah. I'm very, very fortunate to have no directives. So Fortnine is a company. They're very similar to RevZilla, which I think you guys would be more familiar with in the States. But from day one, they were wise enough to recognize that YouTube works best when it's YouTube. It's like some person's, artistic outpouring. So from day one, they said, go and make stuff that's valuable to motorcyclists, could be entertaining, could be informational, could be just showing them something that they couldn't see otherwise, whatever. As long as there's value there and it's got Fortnine's name on it, they're happy. So when the videos hit the internet and the tires hit the pavement, that's just a result of whatever I want to focus on. If I just picked up an 82 Silverwing, we'll go shoot an 82 Silverwing. If I just got interested in the regulatory capture of Armour regulations, then we'll do a video on that. And probably by the time we're done shooting that, I'm sick and tired of reading things. And we'll go and do a video about helmets where I can just get hands on and feel them out. So it's always completely free as far as oversight goes. We decide what we think is going to be entertaining and useful and what we want to work on for ourselves personally. And that's what we go shoot. So very, very fortunate. Not a lot of creatives have this level of freedom, but I'm lucky enough to.
Fantastic.
Well, and I wanted to say too, I can tell that you put a lot of work in just to like the script and the direction. but it's also met with the same level of professionalism just in the cinematography and the lighting. And I think that's what a lot of the success is. I can tell, like, some of these, like the shots that you guys and panning across the lake, and just how you light that studio in different ways, so you make it look like different spaces, and it's all like the same space you're using a lot of times, right?
Yeah, it's all under my butt right now. Like where I'm sitting is upstairs, but if I drop down a level, I'd be right in the main studio that has that blue wall. If I walked about 10 feet this way, I'd be standing in front of the chalkboard that we shoot in front of. If I turned to my right, I'd be looking right at the workshop that we film in sometimes. And then everywhere around me is Vancouver, which can play a million roles depending on how you want to shoot it. Call it Hollywood North for that reason. We shoot a lot of film and television up here. So yeah, we make a pretty small area and a pretty small team look like the whole world, and like we have a big crew shooting it. And that just goes back to the expertise of Anish or Edwin or Garish, whoever's on that video. Like those three guys are all magicians, and they can all produce something where people jump in the comments and say, wow, you know, this must be a crew of 7-8 guys. Nope. It's always only
and yourself, of course. And I think it's a developed product, just as what we do here. You know, the show Motorcycles and Misfits has developed a great deal over the years. And I like to think perhaps we're a little more professional than when we started. If you listen to the very early episodes, as people often do.
You guys were talking about farts 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
A little.
But they were, from a production standpoint, they were quite rough and ready.
We didn't say we're mature. We just said we had better production.
Yeah, we got better production, but we're just as immature as we always were.
Well-produced farts. There's value in this.
Well, can we get right into the controversy? Because this is the number one thing.
Oh, I'd like it, yes.
People wanted to talk about.
Let's steer right into it.
And so many people, there were a lot of people who were mad. Oh, that guy? That's bullshit. I'm not taking my Armour out. So I'm just curious. Let's talk a bit about, so why exactly you decided to do that, and what's been the lashback on that?
Yeah, so Armour is something that's interested me for a long time, but I recently dug more into the regulatory capture that happened in the Armour world. So if you buy a piece of motorcycle gear within the last few decades, probably it has Armour panels in it. It's actually illegal in Europe to sell a piece of clothing that's A-rated or higher that doesn't have these Armour plates in there. And of course, the manufacturers, this is very tempting to them, because with a regulation like this, it means that they don't have to compete against regular clothing manufacturers. You can't cross-shop a pair of Alpine Stars jeans with a pair of Levi's or something like this. That's the plus side for them. The downside for them is that they then have to produce Armour. So this is expensive, right?
Right.
And so what they do is they lobby the regulatory bodies to set the lowest Armour standards possible. So EN 1621-1 for Armour panels is like, I think less than 36 kilonewtons transmitted force or something like this, which is really way too high. Like you can break bones at that. You can break bones at 8 kilonewtons. There's quite a few papers out there that suggest that the current Armour standard that we have is not stringent enough to prevent a lot of serious fractures.
Right.
On top of that, there's a size requirement. I think there's a type A and a type B, or type 1, type 2, something like this. And basically, there's a minimum size that it has to be. And as long as it's that, you're good. It doesn't matter whether you're selling an extra large jacket for a big guy like myself, or a small jacket for someone smaller like you. The pads can be the exact same size, which makes no sense, right? Bigger garments should have bigger pads for a bigger body that's hitting the ground with more mass. And so really, I think the impact attenuation these pads offer and the size that they cover is just not good.
You know, when you did that video, we mentioned it on our show, and I had somebody email in. He says, so I do rodeos, and we have all sorts of protective armor that does a much better job. They have much higher standards. And he's like, they can do better.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. There's an equestrian standard for I think, chest and back protectors that's like twice as stringent as the stuff motorcyclists is getting. So So the main impetus for the video was to put this out in front of people and say, look, this is what the Armour standards are. This is how the regulations were captured by the industry to save money or make more money. And if you want to do better, your options are going to be something like an airbag, which I personally use. They do a much better job of protecting against serious life-threatening injuries, or the larger pads that are available. There's a couple companies out there. Ruka is one of them, to name drop them, who make these pads that are quite a bit thicker and quite a bit larger than what the minimum standard is. So I wanted to show that to people. What I put in the video as well is my own personal preference for not wearing armor. This is where we get into the controversy. So I don't use a car. I ride everywhere, every day on a motorcycle, and I just don't want to live my entire life with these kind of pads sliding around and looking bulky, because this isn't my riding clothes. This is just my clothes. I live every day in the gear that I ride in. So I like riding sweaters. I like leather jackets. I like stuff without armor in it because it keeps me comfortable. Now, obviously, that's a safety concession. Armor does help you slide longer if you're lucky enough to land on that little pad that's in there. And it can take away some bruising and laceration. If you get a fracture, maybe it makes that fracture less severe. So armor definitely helps, which is what I said in the video. I'm not saying to take your armor out. But for me, I look at the armor that's out there and the job that it's doing and the low standard that's set. And I say, for my own life, I don't think it's worth it. I instead choose to ride an airbag backpack, which I think is far less intrusive and I think much more protective. So there you go. There's my opinion. Well, my regret in the video is that my opinion, I think, really overshadowed some of that regulatory stuff, which is less subjective and I think more interesting than what one dude chooses to do with his own protective gear, which is contentious and I guess got a lot of clicks, but to me, that's a far less interesting thing.
And if I could weigh in your corner, I also
come to bat for me. No one's coming to bat for me.
Well, I'm going to, because I don't wear armor either. Now, I favor very heavy leather. And there's still a lot of confusion about what armor and what leather does. Armor will protect you in an impact, and it'll often protect your extremities in an impact: shoulders, elbows, hips, knees. But it does nothing really for the slide, and for the slide, leather's unbeatable. But my argument in your corner is, by not having uncomfortable armor in my clothing, which I'm constantly aware of, I'm far more attentive because I'm comfortable. And I would say that I'm statistically a little better at avoiding the accident in the first place because I'm comfortable and I'm paying all my attention on the road and not on this clunky stuff in my clothing. I know it's a little hokey, but people tend to downplay being comfortable on a bike. If you are cold and wet and miserable and your clothes don't fit and your clothes are clunky, you are not concentrating on the task at hand.
That'll fatigue you, yeah.
It's not just fatigue. It's like, if you're like, oh, fuck, this armor's cutting into my shoulder, you may miss that car changing lanes in front of you.
I think the other thing that happens, it's a very good point, and thank you for coming to swing for me. The other thing that happens is that if your gear is uncomfortable, you might choose not to wear it. There's a lot of people who will gear up in all the armor and all the leather, and they're very safe when they go on big trips. And then when they have to nip to the corner for a bottle of milk, they can't be bothered, right? So then they're going in their T-shirt or their shorts or whatever. So the best gear is always the gear that you can wear reliably, that you can wear every day. To your point about sliding as well, so there's a standard called EN 17092 that tests the abrasion resistance of motorcycle gear. And they test all of this gear with the armor removed. So if you have a slide metric that you're comfortable with, say like AAA, you want to be able to slide 120 kph for a certain number of seconds, you'll have that level with the armor out. So you can know that you're good as far as abrasion is concerned, with or without the armor. having the armor in helps. Of course, you might be lucky enough to slide exactly on that pad. The armor also disperses force. So if you like ding right on an elbow and there's no pad in there, you'd be more likely to have a localized pressure point that might abrade through, whereas a pad would help disperse that. So there's factors at play, but all these things, like there's a million factors, right? It's your comfort and it's your life and it's your risk level. We could all be driving cars, so we've all made concessions already to have a good time and to be comfortable on the bike. And so, yeah, there's a million things going for every person. And that's why I think the individual choice of myself or of you or of whoever is not very interesting. Whereas the hard rules on regulatory capture to me are.
Yeah. And I after watching that video, I thought about it and I've decided I'm more comfortable with all the armor in my jackets. Cause there are times that I've like tipped over and kind of rolled out, land on your elbow kind of thing. But I did take out the armor from all of my riding jeans because my jeans were tight when I'm riding and it kind of distracted me. So like Emma, what you're saying, I decided for my riding jeans, I'd rather dress for the ride, not the crash, but my jacket, I'm keeping that for the crash. So it just made me kind of assess, do I really need them?
And I grew up riding in the mid-70s in England, and the motorcycle uniform in the mid-70s in England was an open face helmet, black heavy leather jacket, jeans, and Doc Martens.
Yeah, I mean, the heavy leather jacket's good. That's really good.
But that was the riding uniform. And I maintain I would not ride in that stuff now. But that was absolutely the most comfortable stuff to wear. And if you're riding a bike, even now, there's nothing as comfortable as that. But of course, it offers, certainly from the waist down, it offers no protection whatsoever. Liza has rode me for years, and she has finally coaxed me out of my open face helmet. And I wear a full face now if I'm going quick. But it's old habits die very hard.
All the bugs on your face were a bit much to look at.
That's
an aesthetic.
It's a beauty mark. It's not a bug. It's a beauty mark. Hey, so I have kind of a questiony comment. You've said a couple of times, and first I guess I'll say I fall on both sides. We like the motorcycle, and it's our own thing, so you can do what you want to do as long as you don't mess with anybody else. So I think it's cool you can come down either side of this. Sure. But from an industry standpoint on what they're making, would you be more open to the idea in general if they had protection that did a better job, covered your areas better, and gave you better protection?
Dirt biking gear under your jacket does that.
Like we'll say, sometimes I've taken the gear out of my jacket and thrown an armored dirt bike jacket underneath my street gear.
Yeah.
But would you be more inclined if it just worked better?
For sure. I think that the day will come probably as material science advances when we get really low attenuation numbers and really big coverage for material that's also flexible and breathable and comfortable. And then that'll probably tip the scales for me where it's like, yeah, this makes sense to wear this now. At the moment, for me personally, no, because the pads that I think are big enough and attenuated enough are also very annoying to ride in. I've used some of this stuff from SaskTech, some of the bigger stuff from D3O. It has its place if I'm racing, for sure. I've got big pads in my race gear. I also have an airbag, so there's that. And if I'm off-roading, again, definitely, because you fall off your bike all the time off-roading, and these tumbling impact hits are actually a lot more common off-road than they are on the street, where people tend to either slide and get up or slide and get hit by a truck and never get up. All that to say, yes, I think one day the scales will tip and I'd probably want to ride in pads. I hope that before then we actually get airbags that offer more body coverage, and so pads are kind of a moot point. Yeah, as they're in cars, right? Like nobody's wearing body armor or helmets in cars because the vehicle safety has progressed to a point where it perhaps makes
I'm going to sneak in one more question. What do you like for air vests? Because I commute every day, and I'll just say I wear all my gear pretty much every day. It's comfortable, right? So I don't have an issue with it being uncomfortable, whatever. But what do you like for an airbag? Because that seems to be the smart move.
I love airbags. I have a few. My everyday one is a Helite. What do they call this thing? H-Move. I'm looking at it right in front of me. It's a backpack. So Gila H Move backpack. It's what I carry my lunch in and my whatever layers.
cool.
It's just like my everyday bag.
Nice.
But it's also an air vest, and you can actually zip off the bag part of it and just run.
Oh, that's
or
cool.
zip off the backpack part of it and just run the airbag. So if I'm like riding off road or doing a rally race or something, then it serves double duty there. But it's clunky. Like if you wanted something really trim for under your jacket, then there's options from Alpine Stars and Dainese that are a little bit lower profile. So
We're looking at it. It looks pretty good.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and another downside to Armour that's inside the gear that I've heard of is that at least most commercially available gear that's not custom fit for your body is going to have some amount of looseness to it. So when you hit the ground, that armor that's in your elbow or your shoulder could slide and not even protect you when you hit. So so there that and that's why I've heard that like racing or dirt bike jackets or other vests or body armor that you wear on your body underneath your gear can do a much better job of protecting because it stays in place.
For sure. Yeah, I think if you wanted to be like maximum safety, as safe as possible, you would get something like a force field compression suit, which has all of the CE level 2 armor that's much bigger and much higher attenuation numbers than EN 1621 standards. So you'd wear that in like a tight suit that was over your upper and lower body. So they sell that. And then on top of that is where you would put like your Kevlar jeans or your leather jacket, like you say, so that the armor stays put when it's there. And then on top of that, an airbag. If you're wearing a bunch of body armor and not wearing an airbag, I think you have to think hard about what you're actually trying to achieve. Because the numbers that we're seeing out of airbags are like orders of magnitude beyond what you're getting out of armor. So yeah, it's
Well, it's
all possible.
It's a controversial subject, which that's why I love you. Don't shy away from it. But let me tell you what my reaction was when I saw that. I immediately thought, oh my heck, that was a 6-minute walk and talk with the cameraman going backwards in an uncontrolled environment and no cuts. Can we talk about that for a second?
For sure.
Because that was amazing.
It made an impact.
So my
Thank you.
first question is, how did you memorize everything? Because then you even had, like, you were queued up to have stopping points and to like pick up a prop or something. How did you memorize that? How many takes did it take?
So the memorization part is actually easy. By the time I've spent like a week researching the topic and then writing the script, like that's lived in my head for a long time by that point. So spitting the lines and getting the memory work down is not too much of a hurdle because I've just spent a long time with that material by the time we arrived at the shoot day. As for how many takes on that video, I think was 4.
Wow.
So we did an initial take where we ran through it all, but hadn't placed any of the objects yet. Mm-hmm. So there's a point near the end of that video where we arrive at like an airbag and an example pad. And so we did one take without any of the props just to see where we would need them. And then we placed them there. We did a second take that I think I messed up. So, okay, scratch that. The third take was the usable one. So that was what ended up being the final video. And then we did a fourth take trying to improve on it. But by then the sun had gone down too much. This was all at sunset. So we got the nice light for the third. The fourth take was clean, but it was getting dark and not as pretty anymore. So we ended up cutting that one.
And when I said uncontrolled environment, this was in like a public place and there's people and dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like so many things that could have gone wrong.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park. It's true. But that's YouTubing. I mean, the movies, you have the luxury of a $40 million budget, so you can pay the city's $100,000 film permit fees, and they'll close down an area for you. You have your controlled environment, and YouTubing is a lot more piracy than that. You're just rolling up to places that you think would be nice to shoot, and you're going there and getting the shots. And on the plus side, A, you can turn things around much quicker, but B, you get all of that really natural quality, like people walking through the background, dogs barking, like life going on. It all looks very natural because it is. It's all just real people doing real things. And I think that's something to be cherished.
Well, and you mentioned, so memorizing the lines is easy for you because you do all the research. So you write all the copy for the all the scripts for the videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's a good time to spring on you. We've got a game for you.
Oh yeah, love games.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm famous for coming up with games, and I came up with a game for Ryan called Finish the Quote.
Okay.
So we went through a bunch of your videos, found some really fun quotes, because sometimes you throw some zingers in there that I'm sure like you must have been so pleased with yourself when you like came up with that and wrote it down. I'm like, that was funny. And I think a lot of them people don't catch. So I'm going to read your quote, and all you have to do is finish the sentence.
Okay, this sounds fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this comes from your very first video, back when this was more of a travel show, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, early episodes we were touring around Quebec.
Yeah.
This now is almost 10 years ago.
10 years ago. So let's see. We're starting with the first video. You said, we want to make a motorcycling show that actually inspires Canadians.
Oh, man. To get out and ride, maybe?
Physically to go out riding.
Okay, we're in the neighborhood.
There you
I
go.
can give him that
All right,
one.
yeah,
Ding,
give
ding,
him
ding, ding, ding.
All right.
All right.
1 point
All
for
right.
Ryan. All right.
It's generous of you to nail the wording.
All right.
Ballpark.
This is from Why I Don't Wear Armor video.
All right.
All right, I like this. Life is so beautiful. Our instinct is going to be to protect it. But our imperative, we have to remember, is to...
Appreciate it.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Did you write that, or is that from like some poetry book? That's
Of
really
course.
deep, man.
No, wow, that's two counts. But yeah, I wrote it.
Really like that. Okay. And this one is from the best 50cc scooter for car drivers. And you said, as you're sitting on the scooters, you said, nope, none of these inanimate objects care that I have
A penis. Yeah, that was to the query, like, aren't scooters for girls?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that one. All right. And just keeping on that theme, this is from your Leaning Wrong video.
All right.
And these are some of the zingers that you throw in that I love. You said, as the man with two penises said.
As the man with two penises said, in Leaning the Wrong Way. Where would you like to start?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
All right. You've got all four so far. Let's keep going.
All right.
From the Dark Side video.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, putting
That's
car
a little
tires
older.
on.
Do not approve of that behavior.
Been there, done that.
So you said, since the 1940s, when motorcycles were slower, car tires were skinnier, and all riders were...
Piratical wrenchers?
Yes!
Excellent.
Wow.
Where did that word
Yeah.
come from? Piratical
Wow.
wrenchers.
Yeah. I mean, they just were. Owning a bike, back in the day, to own a bike was to be a mechanic. There was no division. Like, you get guys now, they're like, oh, I like to ride, but, I take to the shop for whatever. But man, bikes used to break down so often, you just had no choice.
I love that. Yeah, sometimes it's almost like poetry. And then sometimes you stoop low. And this is what I like. So this is from the How Harley Killed Itself video.
Okay.
You said, bullshit. Harley's hoarding shares like a...
Toilet paper prepper with diarrhea.
Nice.
That was in the early days of COVID when you could not get paper for love and money.
I love it. This is, I mean, I'm sure people are getting different things from the videos, but a lot of times I'm listening, I'm just like, his brain is fascinating.
That's
And it
too
really
kind.
comes through. All right. One dear to us, because we were just riding one around today from the Moto Compacto video.
Oh, yeah. So fun.
You said, I lived on campus not too long ago. Classes are pretty close together. Students are broke. We all just walked or...
Got to ride in a police van. It's easy. You do something.
I'm curious.
You do
Is there
something misbehaved enough, they'll just come get you.
is there a story there?
Yeah, he might be allergic to alcohol. He breaks out in handcuffs.
That's right. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. No, every time I drank, they were quick to come help. Very, very kind of them.
Wow. Well, you're 7 for 7. We got 3 more, and see if you can take it all the way.
We'll go for the perfect 10.
Let's see. From the Unkillable KLR.
Oh, yeah.
The engine smells like a volcano, but it's still running. My ass is sore from the cheap seat, but of course, the cheapest thing on a KLR is...
The rider.
That is right.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's just common knowledge. Anyone could have finished that sentence.
Oh, no, there's only 9 because I put the 2 penises one twice because I liked it so much. So,
Oh, sweet. We'll go for a perfect 9.
all right, so you ready for it? So this last one. And you said, this is a scooter video, Bagel? You found this one.
I think so.
One of the scooter videos. You said, if I tried this on my Harley, I'd be public enemy number 1. But on the Vespa, I'm Malibu Barbie and...
I'm always on time.
I'm always on time.
Yeah, talking about lane splitting, how you get away with it on a cute little red Vespa and not so much on a equally red but less cute Dyna.
Well, congratulations. You scored 100%
Hey,
on the
thank you very much.
Hey.
Ryan's quotes.
This was fun. I liked it. It's a little trip down memory lane. I was nervous on some of those older ones when you said like, okay, from the KLR video or from the Dark Side video. I was like, man, that's going to be a stretch.
Well, I never want to set someone up for failure in a game, but I figured if this truly comes from your mind and this is a way to show you really are the one writing the scripts, because this is exactly what you would think to put when you fill in the blank.
Sure. Yeah. It's easy to play when you've written the questions for sure.
Yeah, Liza does it to us all the time, right?
So we also asked for some questions from some of our listeners.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I got one.
Of which there are many, by the way. I hear you guys are quite popular.
We've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 11 years.
Mm.
This one comes from Aaron McCloskey, and he says, I saw the message about the Fortnine interview. I got to thinking about how the future of writing is often discussed on the podcast. It would be interesting to get Ryan's take on the following. If you could make one legislative change to encourage the next generation of writers, what would it be?
Oh, I feel like this person is teeing me up for my favorite rant here. This question is too kind. Okay, so you walk into a motorcycle dealership nowadays, and the kids aren't there. Like the cliche is that you go in and there's 14, 15-year-olds ogling the next Ninja or the next Panigale. Oh, I'm going to get that, mow some more lawns, get a bike, scare my mom, rip around town, go to uni, whatever.
I get yelled at when I was a kid for getting too close to a Bermuda.
There you go.
I would just go down and look at them.
And what a motorcycle to be too close to.
Yeah, I know.
So you go to motorcycle dealerships nowadays, that's not the case. What you usually find is a bunch of older folks lamenting about the lack of the youth. Where are the kids these days? The kids, they're not interested in riding. They're too scared. They're pansies, whatever. You hear all kinds of ideas. I think the reason is because of the micromobility options that we have. If you want to rip around town, you can get on an electric unicycle or an electric bicycle that's been unlocked or an electric stand-up scooter that goes 120 kilometers an hour and has no insurance costs, no licensing costs, no training time required, no tests that you have to pass, no insurance that you have to carry and pay for. All of these financial and time hurdles that you have to jump to get into motorcycling are not there for the electric micromobility scene. And so the young people, quite rightly, are choosing to do that instead. Why wouldn't you? If I was young, that's what I would do. Why am I going to save up all this money and spend all this time and go to all these classes to learn to ride this big, expensive thing that has to be registered and insured, blah, 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 when I could just pick up a Suron Light Bee and unlock it and throw in a controller and rip around at 120, and the cops don't do anything because it kind of looks like a bicycle and they don't care. So all that to say, I would legislate a bunch of controls onto micromobility, and I think that would push people back into motorcycling.
It's coming. It's all coming through different government centers, but it is coming.
Yeah,
We've been
I
following
think
that.
so. Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah, I'm
But-
speaking like a biased motorcyclist there. Like a part of me is
Oh.
like,
I'm jealous of these kids. Like we got Trail
Yeah.
70s when
Exactly.
we were kids,
Oh,
and
yeah.
little, the
Chased by
little
the cops.
Sears pull start, and these kids are whipping down the street on Super 73s and such.
yeah,
And I'm like,
and,
they're living the dream.
and it's pretty cool. Like a big part of me doesn't want to slap them with a bunch of regulations because it's like, man, have fun. Like I think these things are pretty sweet. Maybe we need to be harder on the motorcycle industry for not creating enough bridges from that market into the motorcycle
Yeah,
market because
true.
I think motorcycles have a lot more to offer. You just have to hop on a Goldwing and take it around all, lower 48 to understand how much more motorcycling can be.
Well, and the cost of these e-bikes and mountain bikes is now the same as motorcycles. You can get a good Versus
Yeah.
for the same price,
Right.
you know?
Totally.
Oh, sometimes
Yeah.
a lot more.
Oh, I know.
And used bikes, I'm not sure what it's like down in the States, but usually the markets are similar. In Canada, the prices of used bikes have just tumbled. Like you can hop onto Marketplace and pick up like a really good, less than 20-year-old motorcycle for $2,000-$3,000.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
That's going to be reliable and can take you anywhere you want
And-
to go and cheap to insure. And all
And I
that.
think that's just a result of the pendulum swinging because they were so inflated during and immediately after COVID. And the used
Yeah.
bike market in particular was just so inflated. And
Yeah.
the pendulum's just swung the other way now. And it's very, very depressed. And there are bargains to be had. It'll centralize again.
Yeah, it will. It will. You're right. Now's the time to buy. I've been seeing all kinds of tempting stuff. But
So we have another question, but I want to lead into this with one of my favorite videos that I want to talk about is the Unkillable KLR.
cool. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
I really did, and it proves that JB Weld in a beer can can work on an engine.
Yep.
Can
Fix
seal an
anything.
engine, fix anything.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that, but I think that Aaron Edelbrock's question will help lead into that. So he says, how many motorcycles have you killed during production, and have any nearly killed you?
Ooh, good one.
Killed during production? That is a good question. The KLR, obviously, we killed. We were trying to. So whether that counts or not is up to you, Aaron.
Somewhat killed.
My Italjet Conquistador gave up on me halfway through shooting. Had to come back and fix it. We found a way. It was a no spark situation. Ended up bypassing basically the entire bike and wiring straight from the generator to the coil, and it worked out fine. What else did we do? We had a bike that blew a main fuse. What motorcycle was that? I think.
That doesn't sound like you're killing it.
No, well, we didn't kill. Well, I mean, temporarily killed, right? Things that held up shooting.
Have
Whether
any
or not,
any nearly killed you?
no. I think.
Liza's got a sidecar. I mean,
Yeah, maybe if I had one of those, we did it with a Ural. It didn't try to kill me too much. I goof around sometimes on bikes for the fun of it, and usually in a pretty controlled and safe environment. I think I ride quite conservatively. I don't think I've had any moments where I thought, "Ooh, that was really dangerous." There was riding back on the Ural. It was January and it was snowing, and the highway in Washington was pretty slick, and that was sketchy. I think I pushed it because I wanted to get home, and in hindsight, maybe wasn't the wisest. Recently got stuck out in southern Quebec in the hurricane that was moving through there, and that created a bit of a hairy situation. But I'm reaching, to be honest. I never feel like I'm really putting my life at risk on a motorcycle. Obviously, I am to some extent. Anything can happen. You can get smacked by a bus. I'm aware of that, but I never feel scared.
Oh,
I
well,
don't do anything that makes me feel scared.
which is when it wasn't that long ago where you were sliding on the that testing area just full of water that made you
Yeah.
slide. That was
Yeah,
crazy, dude.
Yeah, so fun. That was at Bosch. They have this
Yeah.
massive field of basalt tiles that they can flood. And the mu coefficient is very, very close to what snow is. So you have the experience of riding on snow, but there's outriggers on the bike, so you can crash as many times as you want with zero consequences. And yeah, that's such a treat to get to do that.
So I wanted to talk a second about one of your most recent videos that I really enjoyed. Emma, I think you probably haven't seen it yet, but you'll enjoy it. Now, the title is not exactly what it seems. This would be was it How to Rip Off a Dealership?
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks very much for watching. That was out yesterday, so
How to Rip Off a Dealership.
Right. I've yet to see this one.
Which, I mean, first, I'll let Ryan explain, but he's coming in and saying, here's tips. Like, first thing, like, walk away, giving all these tips of how to negotiate.
I believe the subtitle is Bastard Negotiating Tactics.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, or I thought it was interesting how you were like, find out what's been in inventory over 180 days because they're having to pay on this now,
Right.
and they want to get it out. Also, check how many used bikes there are to new bikes. It was a lot of really good tips, which usually ended with, and then walk away.
I mean, to a certain extent, I agree that looking at long-term inventory is legit because the dealer is really incentivized to move it. That said, dealers are struggling right now. And, to really take advantage of that and gouge them, I'm kind of on the fence a
Emma,
little.
this is why I wanted to bring this up.
This is
Because
perfect.
halfway through the video takes an unexpected turn.
Right.
Everything changed. The subject changed. The format changed. Everything changed. So Ryan, can you talk about what the second half of the video and how that came about?
Yeah. So this was the Logos Pathos video I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So I wanted to create this juxtaposition between a very cold, logical approach and then a more human, empathetical, emotional approach. So we start the video kind of comically, got a leather jacket, I've got my faux hawk, my douchebag shades on.
Yeah.
I introduced myself as Brian F9, the sort of evil twin, and here's how to FUCK your local dealer. And we give very real negotiating tips. So, okay, you want to see large number of used bikes to new bikes because used bikes can't be applied to a dealership's floor plan, so they can't be financed. They have to pay cash for them, and a cash-rich enterprise can usually cut more profit to make a sale. After that, you want to leave and come back near the end of the month because salesmen compete monthly and will usually do more to make a sale near then, et cetera, et cetera. So we go into, I think, there's 8 or 9 practical tips for driving the hardest bargain and ultimately negotiating down the maximum over allowance and getting it applied to the bike you originally wanted and whatever, ripping off the dealer for the biggest possible savings using a lot of insider information that isn't commonly available. And then right at the end of delivering that, it's kind of a long walking PTC around the dealer. And at the end of it, we arrive at Ken, who is this lovely gentleman who owns this dealership.
Sweet little man.
I mean, Ken is amazing. He was willing to let us come and talk a bunch of shit about dealers and be complete.
And Emma, I wanted to set this up. This is not
his business. So
this isn't a big dealership.
Right.
This is a small dealership. With how many bikes
Kenco
did he have in there?
Literally a family business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a family business. He built this with his father. He poured the mud for the bricks, and it's been there 45 years. It's basically in his house. He kind of lives in a separate property, but it's right there. It's a very homey feel. They deal Royal Enfield and Sherco, but not a ton of those bikes and a bunch of used old stuff. It's a very small, very homey dealership. So we've done the logos, and halfway through we arrive at Ken, and then it gets pathos. It's just a conversation with him, and he shares a little bit about his life, his experience over 4.5 decades of what running a dealership actually looks like, and how difficult it is, and the demands that manufacturers place on dealerships. Right, we want you to pay for this flooring and put this lighting in and pay for all these signs, or else we're going to hand the franchise to someone else. Or if you start to do well, oh, great, there's a market here. Thanks for developing it. Your reward is that we're going to give franchises to this dealer and this dealer and this dealer, which takes, of course, a little bit more out of your pie. And then, on top of that, he's just a really nice core for the motorcycle community in Souk. Like, he's right on this coastal road, so riders who get mechanical problems, he's always there to help. I've heard loads and loads of stories of people who have an issue, and if he knows the solution, he'll fix it, and he won't even charge you, right? If it didn't take him much time or much parts, it's like he's happy to have just met you and pour you a cup of coffee and help you out. On the wall in there, he's got pictures of all these motocross racers and trials riders that he's sponsored and helped get going over the years. And then if you look in the next room over, there's some old dude sitting there, having a Timbit and chit-chatting, who's that guy on the wall, because he's been coming back for all these years. So it's a very human and I think feel good story that he has to tell. And we were lucky enough to hear it. And then we end the video with this kind of long pull out. So we leave this interview space. Ken and I are still chatting, and the audio kind of fades down as we sort of leave it behind, and we reveal in a wide what this space looks like finally. So we see how small and almost fragile this space is. It's starting to be overgrown with weeds. As new and shiny as the bikes are outside, there's bikes rusting and rotting in the surrounding area. There's a truck that's broken down there, and the dealership starts to look very small and very fragile. And our voices kind of fade away without concluding anything, because I wanted to create this juxtaposition. Here's the hard logic on how to save a buck. Here's the pathos emotion of what the people actually look like. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. Like, just sit in that tension and feel the anxiety of it.
I mean, which I very much agree with. And if you've listened to me in the podcast before, I'm famous for going off on these tangents that appear to make no sense, but in the end they do. And I'm reminded of a few years ago, pre-COVID, me and Liza went down south and we did a course on off-road riding with Honda. And Honda, God bless them, they closed the whole center, and it was just me and Liza.
Very cool.
But a core part of taking this complete course on off-road riding, and they devoted probably a couple of hours of the day to this, was how to care for the environment you're riding through.
Oh, that's cool.
How to respect your
how to
hear
respect the environment you're riding through. And I would remind everyone that when you deal with a dealership, when you deal with an independent shop like mine, because I've been in the industry on and off 46 years, and I have worked for some stinkers.
Sure.
And I've worked for some amazing people.
Care to name any?
I'm not gonna name the bad ones. But they were out there. And generally, here we are nearly 25 years into the 21st century, and most everyone who is left is an enthusiast at all levels, because it's very hard to become very wealthy in the motorcycle industry. So you really have to have a passion for it. That said, I mean, there is money to be made, and there are still giant dealerships that the number one priority is to make money.
It's interesting because I often hear the opposite, that it's a lot of the small enthusiast dealerships are going away in favor of the large corporate entities. The only way to survive
it's becoming
now is
harder. It's becoming harder to earn money.
Credit.
It's becoming a lot harder to earn money as a smaller independent. But if we dovetail it back to us doing the course, all I would ask everyone is to be mindful of the environment you're in. And if we don't protect the overall environment, I am not giving anyone carte blanche to get ripped off by a dealership. That's not the case. But if you go into a dealership or an independent thinking that they are there to rip you off and behave accordingly, you're missing the whole part of the picture. Tread lightly. Be assured of yourself, be assured of the deal you want to get, but don't be unrealistic about it. If you have a $5,000 budget and there is a $5,000 KLR and that's its value, and you're going in offering $3,000 because the dealership's got a lot of stock, I think you're not doing the best job of respecting yourself or that dealership.
For sure. I think we see it in a lot of ways in our lives that we vote with our dollars. We tend to spend where we can save the absolute most and spend the absolute least that we can. And as a result, we're left with a world where the retailers around us are the ones that can make that happen.
Right.
They're also very monetarily minded, and they can do the volume to survive on the thinnest possible margins. And so we're left with a very cold and corporate world because we're behaving in a very cold and corporate way.
Yeah, you basically you get what you give.
Sure.
I'm very, very lucky because as an independent and as basically a repair-only facility, and I do sell bikes, but if I sell a bike, it has to be very special in terms of it has to be a certain condition or represent very good value for money or just be a very special bike. I just sold a 1973 Suzuki 550 with
cool.
600 miles on the clock.
Yeah.
So these are the
cool.
kind of bikes that I sell when I sell them. But I'm very much able to weather the changes in the industry. But I enjoy a very, very good relationship with my clients. And every single one of them knows that I have to make money to survive. And it costs me X amount of dollars per month. And that figure is about $2,500 to keep the doors of Mototown open. When I've made $2,501, I've made $1.
Right.
But I do okay because there's just a constant stream of work coming in. But it is fragile. And a couple of times in the winter, I'll look at the books and that $2,500 does not change. But the amount of work coming in, and I'll look at January and I brought in $1,000. And then February is the same. And I'm like, shit, I am $3,000 in the hole in 2 months. And then I start worrying a little bit. But then springtime comes along and now I'm going gangbusters again. So, you have to look at the broader picture.
For sure.
But
yeah, for sure.
I would ask people, and I know it's kind of romantic and to a certain extent it's naive, and I certainly don't want to sound glib, but just be respectful of the environment you're in and try and think beyond that satisfaction of going, oh, I gouged this guy. I'm not sure if that's the relationship you want to start with either your bike
Well, that's
or
why
with that dealership.
watch the video and you'll get
Yeah,
it. Because
and Liza's got an advantage because I haven't seen the video.
Watch the video.
And it sounds like you've painted both sides of the picture.
And Ken talked about how the manufacturers are screwing them over.
Oh,
by
absolutely.
Just sending bikes they didn't order or upping how many they got to carry. So you guys did such a good job of finding that balance of showing both sides.
Right.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I wanted to ask a little bit more about production. Like, how long does it take you from inception to posting a video?
It's a good question. How long is a piece of string? That video, I wanted to do the Logos Pathos thing for a long time. That idea might be a year or two old. But that was just sitting in my idea board, kind of waiting for the right thing to come up. And then we did a video maybe 18 months ago on dealerships, on a lot of the things that you were just talking about, the difficulties that they face, how much it costs to keep them open, the seasonality of it, the demands manufacturers make. We wanted to show people a little bit more about what the dealership business looks like. And when we made that video, I got a bunch of feedback from people in the industry, which is really valuable, and met and chatted with a few of them. And from there came this idea of ways that you can use the dealership model to manipulate it for a better deal. So, okay, here's an interesting piece of information. So then that goes into the idea board. And then it wasn't until maybe 6 weeks ago, we were shooting a different video over on Vancouver Island. That's when I went to Kenco for the first time and met Ken and thought, here's this guy's perfect to be the Pathos side of this. So then the logo's Pathos style got matched to the dealership ripoff topic. And we had our location intrinsic in that. And then, it's usually like that. It's a collision of 2 or 3 ideas that make the whole video. Once that's all together, then we go properly into production. And that's usually anywhere from 2 to 5 days of writing time, anywhere from 1 to 4 days of shooting, and anywhere from 5 to 10 in the edit. So really depends on the type of video. This specific one we shot in a day. So primary shooting was 1 day. I think Garish was in the edit on it maybe 6 or 7 days. So yeah, but there's a lot of variance depending on what the project is.
So how many do you have juggling in the air right now?
I think just on the idea board, there's probably 200 tickets of ideas, but those are not. Most of those will never come to fruition. Those are fragments of things. Anything I hear that's interesting to me might end up in that board. Actual videos that are fully put together and say green lit for production, even though we don't actually talk with such jargon, but green lit videos, I'd say I have maybe 5 or 6. I think I know what the next 5 or 6 videos would be for us, and that'll take us through October.
Can you give us a hint of something that's on the board?
I've got my board right here.
To look forward to.
Well, I want to hear what the wildest idea on the board is. That's what.
But if I hear Nikon, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh, he's already done that.
We did the Nikon. Nikon's done. I've got a helmet video coming up. It's pragmatic. Our channel actually just ticked over 2 million subscribers.
Hey, congratulations.
Last week. Wow. Thank you. It was exciting for us. So one thing we wanted to do was make a video in the style of our first videos from 10 years ago. So it's me in the studio. It's 6 set shots. We have like a close-up and a medium close-up. We have a whatever. We're going to make a video exactly like we used to in 2015 and do that
back
for
in the old
video.
days.
So
we should do that later. We should go back to episode 1 of the Misfits.
Back when a possum would run through the show back then.
Back in the garage itself.
It's fruitful, I think. I think for us, it'll be a good reminder of what we do that adds value to the world. Right. I think we can get caught up in a lot of the stuff that we like to do and the things that we've enjoyed adding to our production, but for us, I think it'll be cool.
But I think the format you're using, dovetails so well with motorcycling in general, because we tend to be, an eclectic bunch. We tend to be quite a freewheeling and irreverent bunch, and just this very. Once you're into it, you're very methodical, but the subject matter is just anything, isn't it?
Oh, it's so broad. Yeah. It's
you start with these very, very broad concepts and just kind of narrow them down. So it really does work so well with biking in general.
Motorcycling is definitely big enough. I think I at least could do this job for my entire life and not run out of things to cover. It's always, the problem is the other way around when we get to the end of the year and it's like, crap, we have 150 videos that we didn't get a chance to make.
Well, and I like how you said, was it your Christmas present to yourself is you get to do a video where you abuse a bike?
Always a Christmas present the Christmas video is always a gift to ourselves. And I'm a bit selfish being the one to choose the topics. I usually just choose a bike I really want to ride. So we killed a KLR for one. We did a Honda Rune. For one, we did a CBR 250 RR, the tiny screamer. For one, it's always something like that, something special that I've always wanted to experience, and that's usually how we choose the Christmas ones.
So Ryan, I know we're about to wrap up, but just a little more about you. So what are you riding right now? What do you like to ride, and what do you think your next bike will be?
At the moment, I've got an 86 TT350. It's like a motocross bike that was converted for street use. It doesn't happen anymore in BC, but they used to let you put a headlight and blinkers on just about anything. They give you a VIN.
Because you're a dirt guy, aren't you? You're a dirt guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I started there, and that's always where home is. So yeah, that bike, it's on supermotos right now, but I've got another wheel set for it, and it's great for going to the trails and doing enduro stuff. And it wears a plate, so it's convenient. I've got a 82 Silverwing, which I just love. It's that CX500 motor, like transverse feet twin.
I've
Sounds
had
great. It's
3
characterful.
CX500s. I do like them.
Sweet. I'm glad to hear that I'm in good company. Yeah, it's
Emma, what do you call
them? It's a phenomenal motor.
No, it's what the British people call them.
Okay, what do you call them?
No, it's what the British people call them. I respect all motorcycles. British people call them plastic maggots.
Yes, I've heard of this actually. Yeah.
And you know, name, but, and to be fair, it was when that bike came out in '78. It was so different to everything else. And it was so advanced. And the early ones weren't actually that great. There were a couple of teething problems with them.
They made a turbo flavor.
Yeah, they did the
exciting.
turbo from day one, but they were a little flawed, the very first one. So, the name stuck very, very early on.
Yeah, the GL500 is, it's just a treat. It's the full Goldwing package. It's the interstate, like the bags, and it has the exact
it's got
same
everything.
fairing as the Goldwing of the year. Like, it's legit. But it just sips gasoline, and it's beautiful. Shaft drive. Can't talk enough about my Silverwing, but there you go. There's always bikes in and out. At the moment, I think I have 4, but they always come and go. Buy stuff for videos and sell stuff when we're done shooting.
You have control for only 4.
Only 4.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got some restraint. I have limited room. What
are you talking about? You're in Canada. You have all the space you need.
Oh man, Vancouver. I live in a shoebox. I got my allotted parking stall. That's it.
You know what the truth is? I think you follow probably the formula for the right amount of bikes.
N+1?
No, actually.
It was. We've updated.
We've updated. It's D-1. D equals divorce.
Okay. Interesting. So you go until you have a divorce and you take one back.
Then you buy another one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sweet. Cool. So I'll push it. I'll see how close we can get to the.
So I need to start wrapping up. So I want to just kind of rapid fire a few questions. You can just give a short answer if you want. First one is, what's up with all the clones?
I mean, it is what it is. We didn't have enough manpower around the shop. We happened upon this pretty cutting edge device that we ordered from AliExpress, and we're pretty hesitant to try it. I thought maybe it might blow the grid, open a black hole, whatever. But in the end, it works, and now we have an endless supply of disposable mechanics. So it's perfect for us.
What's been your favorite video to produce?
The last one.
The last one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, the Logos and Pathos one, that was a treat. And after you make the next one, I'll tell you it's that one. I think the beautiful thing about YouTube is every video you make, you get to try out your latest ideas. You get immediate feedback from a few 100,000 people on whether it was crap and they didn't like it, or whether there was something good and they liked it. And you take that, right into the next project. So I love the feedback loop.
How about the one you're most proud of? I mean, You're Leaning Wrong has like over 8 million views, which is amazing.
I think that's our most popular. I'm proud of that video. It's a good video. It involves some physics. It's a contentious point.
And it makes sense. As a dirt biker, a lot of us here ride dirt, we know there's different ways to control a bike, and you can choose between them when riding out on the street for whatever's right for the conditions. But people who haven't ridden on dirt don't have that tool. They don't understand it.
Sure.
So that video made total sense to anyone who rides dirt.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. I'm proud of all of them. It's like, ask me which of my children is my favorite. It's like, I'm proud of them all. They're all good. Some of them get a lot of views, and some of them don't, and some of them are really bad. Like I made a whole video that rhymed and was kind of rapped through. It was like slam poetry, and it came off really awkward and weird. But I'm proud of that one too, because we tried something that was brave and it failed, and that's cool.
So I have one more question for you. This is a question we ask all of our guests.
Oh, dear.
I need to prepare you for this.
Well, I think you should explain the
will.
term. Yes.
So the question, and I'll explain it after. The question is, what is your up-the-butt bike? Now,
up the butt?
Up the butt bike.
I've never put a bike up my butt.
No, I hope. No.
We tried that. Did not go well.
Not enough lube.
Changed the game a
Not
wee
enough lube
bit.
in the world there.
But if you're going to, the PC800,
Yeah, that's right. All the smooth plastic.
It's like a suppository.
Perfect choice.
no, what that means is that's a bike that you look at and you go, oh, I'd take it up the butt for that. That is the bike that, it could be
coveted.
I can tell you the most butt-worthy bike is the Britain V1000.
In your opinion.
Yeah.
So many people are like, that is the highest.
Something that rare and that expensive, sure. Yeah.
So I'm just curious for you, what would be your up-the-butt bike?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say anything but the Britain now that we've gone there.
Yeah, I know.
But if I'm going to go a little bit more, shall we say, attainable, there's always a big list. At the moment, I think I would do just about anything to get a hub center steering motorcycle, because I've always wanted to cover it, and they're hard to find. So there's a bimodal Tessie.
Yeah, I've seen those.
There was an Italjet dragster scooter.
That's on my list.
For sure. Anything up the butt for one of those.
That's my up the butt scooter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's covetous. There was a Japanese bike. I want to say Suzuki. So there's a few that have been done. So yeah, that's it for me. I want to get one. Yeah. I want to film with one, and so up the butt for anything up center steering. Let's go with Italjet dragster. I think that's the coolest, because it's a small, affordable, relatively affordable scooter.
I've seen a couple of Tessies come up. They're by no means a cheap motorcycle.
No.
But they're cheaper than you think they would be.
They're around. I have a line on one. I'm hopeful.
Is it the wrong? Is it the wrong side of 25?
No. It wasn't. I made a buddy whose business is importing motorcycles from Japan. He brings in boxes and boxes of them. Oh, wow. And he bid on one and won one at auction in Japan for a surprisingly low price. I won't say how much, because this is my friend and he's going to sell it. I wanted to make a good buck. But he did good on it. So it'll be here in a few months, and that
may be the one. If you can get yourself into a Tessie for between 25 and 30 Canadian, I don't think you're going to be on the wrong side of the ledger with that.
Yeah, I think you'd probably do well on it if you could sit on it. They're rare. They're rare. Not making any more of them, that's for sure. So
right,
and they're physically interesting. There's something irrefutable in the way that bike is designed that's unique, and I don't think anyone could ever take it away from it. So
right,
yeah, I think you're right. I think if you could get one around 25, you'd probably do well on it. I don't want to buy one for 25 because I don't have a free 25 to spend. If someone wants to loan me theirs, that would be fantastic.
I was absolutely kicking myself that I missed a Hesketh for 5,000 a few months ago.
Hesketh?
A Hesketh.
What is this? How do you spell Hesketh?
Never heard of.
A Hesketh V1000.
How do you spell that?
Hesketh.
Hesketh V1000. How old is this?
82.
82.
Is this a British bike?
Oh,
yeah, it was at the Quail. We saw
nice looking.
Iconic motorbikes. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah,
down in LA.
Yeah. And
it's cool looking for sure.
She likes weird bikes. I'm just going to throw that out there.
it's considered the Bentley of motorcycling.
139 built.
Yeah.
139 builds.
But like the reason I bring it up is like the Tessie, not many people know what it is.
No, I've never heard of it.
So
looks
there
like
you
an
go.
air-cooled L-twin.
Yeah.
Kind of conventional styling, but looks very nice.
Oh, it was everything in 1982.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's. I'm looking at a nice green one that takes my fancy for sure.
You've got them hooked.
Was it called the Vampire?
Yeah.
Well, no, the Vampire was something quite different. The Vampire had lots of clothes on it. The V1000 was a naked bike.
You ever seen the rotary radial motorcycle?
Oh, yes. The Van Veen
Van
OCR.
Veen. I have a model here, I think behind Bagel. Is that
No, not the Wankel, the Magola.
With the thing in the wheel. Yes.
Bagel, what's the green bike right behind your head?
Yeah,
That's the Van Veen.
Van
that's the
Veen
Van
rotary,
Veen. No,
yeah.
the Magola is something quite different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I would take it up the butt for the Magola.
Hey,
too.
there it is. Now you get it.
Yeah.
Now
Oh
you
yeah,
get
for
it.
sure. For sure.
Well,
Those are.
I wanted to thank you very much for coming on, but also just for the content you're putting out there, just the broad range. Jim, you may not know this, but you should check out, they have started doing exercise videos.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yes.
Really good ones, too.
Yeah, telling you exercises that relate to riding. Like, am I explaining that right, Ryan?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
like,
not me. I'm beyond out of shape, but one of our clones is.
One of the clones is doing it. Yeah, like what kind of
quite
exercising will translate into better control in riding?
I hear riding to pie is good. Ride to food is a good idea.
Live to ride to eat. That is our motto.
Nutrition.
Good to know, though. I'll check that out. I was just stoked there was someone recognizing the DR650, the most non-talked about awesome bike ever.
Yeah,
We
but
always talk about the KLR. We don't talk about the DR.
you've evolved so much from the Canadian travel show into gear reviews, and then I think a lot of it has really come through from you, and it seems like you got unleashed, and your brain is just like, what else can we do? What else can we do? And now as you've been adding more crew and are able to do more, you're really reaching out into other avenues. So I really appreciate that, and looking forward to what you guys continue putting out.
It's very kind. Thanks very much for saying it. It always means a lot from other people coming in the industry. So, thanks very much. All I could say is feel very fortunate. I mean, it's been a hell of a ride, and what we do in no way, shape, or form can really be called work.
And that
definitely playtime.
And as a scooter rider, I really appreciate that you do have some scooter content on there as well.
Oh man, yeah. For myself personally, like, give me a scooter every day.
Yeah,
I want that waterproof underseat storage. I want that high fuel economy. For whatever reason, on scooters, I can ride around without my body armor, and no one freaks out at me because somehow that's permissible. I got a lot of love for scooters for sure.
And I just wanted to give another big thanks to Insta360 because you use their cameras quite a bit. I see them a lot.
All the freaking time. Yeah, we love them. Obviously, they sponsor our content, but setting that aside, not because of that, the Ace Pro unlocked a whole bunch of night shooting opportunities for us. Just the size of the sensor and the quality of the lenses, we did a side by side just to see what should we be using, and you can see the definition of the clouds in the sky at night. With this camera, which for me is amazing because I love night riding. I do all my riding at night if I could, because the roads are quiet and the temperatures are cold. And so that unlocked a bunch of night shooting for us, as we did with the 1300 GS video. And then, the other one that we use a lot is the X4. It used to be the X3. Actually, I think they're selling them alongside each other. And the X4 is just kind of an up-spec version of it. But exactly. AK and 360. So there's your kind of just coverage option where you can have it on the bike. And when the deer runs out or when the exciting thing happens, you have the resolution and the 360 coverage to be able to zero in and get the moment. So, we were using all their cameras anyway, just because of the tools that they are for us. And then with fact that they want to kick us some money for shooting with them that helps fund these projects and support podcasts like you guys. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing.
Well, there you go. And even more reason why you should enter our contest to win. We're giving away the X4 and an Ace Pro.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yes. We just announced it just before you came on. They just have to send us a haiku or a limerick about their bike.
Limericks. Yeah,
so, Ryan, you can enter if you want to.
Yeah. I'll give you just the dirtiest limerick that you've ever...
We have approved the use of Nantucket, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Well, awesome. We're going to let you go. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
If you have not checked out Fortnine videos, and also, I guess you have to be in Canada to order your products, right?
Yeah. I mean, unless you want like a neck gaiter or a t-shirt or something, you could get anywhere. But if you're shopping at Fortnine, unfortunately, you
what is the easiest way? What is the easiest way for any of our listeners to watch your videos?
YouTube. Yeah,
just go onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Fortnine. One word.
That's it. Yeah, Fortnine, one word. Don't write Fortnite. You'll end up in a gaming hell. Fortnine on YouTube.
And if you have not yet, go on there and subscribe. Let's get those numbers up because this is our people. You know, I like seeing everyone enjoying your videos and talking about them. I got an email from a group chat I'm on here. Somebody's like, "Did you see his latest video?" And I'm like, did I see it? Yes, I did. In fact, yeah.
No, and it's just us. Shamelessly plug your videos right now because it's very intimate. It's just you and us. So say whatever you want. Just do a shameless plug of why people should watch Fortnine.
I mean, you guys just did it for me. I'm always very hesitant to say, "Oh, go subscribe or watch our stuff," because the stuff is there on the internet and you can find it. And if you love it, then you can subscribe. I can't do a better advertisement for our content than our own content. So,
in my opinion,
I'd rather use this time to plug you guys because you've been phenomenal discussion points, and I think very similarly, you probably do a poor job of plugging yourself. So subscribe to this podcast. Check out this podcast.
Oh no,
people buy merch.
Emma can plug herself just fine.
Can I come and visit your space, Recycle Garage?
Yeah,
there
you go. Come down.
Where do I go? And you guys are down in California, right?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So go check them out. Buy a vintage motorcycle, get your shit worked on.
All those things.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Get your chest signed. I don't know what you guys do down there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We will let you go and check out Fortnine. They are the best motorcycle videos.
Number one.
But a lot of it has to do with Ryan's brain.
And here's before you go, here's a great idea for a future show.
Oh, is this unsolicited advice?
Unsolicited
advice.
My idea board open. You're doing my job.
No, the impact of podcasts on motorcycling culture, and of course you can do us.
There you go.
You can plug Emma.
Yeah.
I like being plugged. It's my idea of a good Saturday night.
I'll let you off the hook on that one.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan.
Bye, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks very much,
All
guys.
right,
Have a great night.
If I click leave, this isn't going to delete everything. I'm okay to leave.
Yeah, you are good. You are clear.
All right. Clear for takeoff. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thanks,
Nice to
Ryan.
chat with you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Wow.
All right.
Well, what a nice young man. But would you expect anything else because he's from Canadian land?
Canadians are wonderful.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all polite and nice and shit.
A bunch of hosers.
What a hoser.
So I mentioned going back to Insta360.
Yes.
I said the best camera for motorcyclists. Well, I had the opportunity, as I said, to talk to Michael Shaboon, and I asked him, why is Insta360 the best camera for motorcyclists? And he told me a lot of great features and really why you should be using it. And I'll even tell you that I've thrown out the suggestion that every motorcyclist should have a camera on their bike at all times. not because you're going to edit videos and think people want to see your ride to work, but it's a responsible thing to do just to have a camera on you. It's safety.
Yeah.
It's a safety tool.
Safety first.
And the thing about the Insta360 is capturing everything around you. So you don't have to have your camera pointed in the right direction and hope you catch it.
Yeah, because after I witnessed a pretty horrific crash in 2008, I started carrying cameras on the front and rear of my bike and would film everywhere I go just in case. But it was 2 separate cameras. It was, they had short video video lengths and stuff. So it was kind of a hassle, but this Insta360 would do a much better job than what I had, 15 years ago.
Only the other day, Bagel had to pull out quickly to avoid a child.
Well, let's hear that interview with Michael right here. So joining us now from Insta360, our sponsor. Thank you, Insta360. We have Michael Shaboon, all the way from, are you in Southern California right now?
I am. I'm in sunny Los Angeles.
Sunny Los Angeles. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's a wild time at Insta360. We're always cooking up some crazy products. We have 3 or 4 new products that we're working on launching over the next few months. So it's nonstop around here. Very exciting times. Nice.
I know you're in LA now, but I just have to say, go Bears.
Yep, that's my alma mater is Cal Berkeley, and big Bears fan. When we went to when I was in school, we had a famous player named Marshawn Lynch and Aaron Rodgers playing there.
Oh yeah, not too shabby. I've seen some games in my day too. So yeah, glad to have you here. So I'm gonna keep this really simple. Action cameras have been around a long time, and I think they're making even a bigger boom right now. And I mean, the simple question is, why is Insta360 the best camera for motorcyclists? Simple.
Yeah, so let's back up a second and talk about action cameras as a whole. So if you look at action cameras historically, they have one lens, it's pointed in a single direction, and you kind of get what you get. And I think the most interesting part is that most people who ride motorcycles, they don't want to have to worry about their action camera or if it's getting the footage or where it's pointed. And most people who ride motorcycles, they're not trained filmmakers. They just want to enjoy their rides and get some cool footage while they're at it. And so where we come at it is our flagship camera is called the X4. And it's a 5th generation product. And we also have the X3 on the market, the previous generation. If you're more price conscious, it does pretty much mostly what the X4 does. And the specialty of this camera is that it has not one, but 2 cameras. It has one camera pointing forward and one camera pointing backwards. And what it does is it captures every angle at the same time. And the reason that Insta360 is so special in the technology industry is because we found a way to, and this is many, many, many years ago when we were first getting started, but we found a way to take both of those cameras and automatically combine them into one single image. And what that did was it gave average people like me the ability to record amazing quality video with very, very simple practices, right? You push one button, you get everything. And the reason that motorcyclists love it is because you can now take this 360 camera, you can mount it in any orientation. The lenses can be facing forwards, backwards. You don't need to worry about how it's mounted because it's going to get the shot. And then when you're reviewing the footage later, you can decide what angle you take from the 360 footage. And you can take vertical video for Instagram and you can take horizontal video for YouTube. And all you need to do is press one button. And we even have, so the other challenge with traditional action cameras on the market is that the editing side, right? Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that have said, Michael, I have a GoPro or I had a previous action camera, but I don't do anything with the footage because it's impossible for me to edit. I'm not an editor. I don't know how to edit. I don't even want to open up my computer. I just want to be able to view my footage in some capacity and share it with my friends and family. And that's what Insta360 does special is that, a lot of people think about us as a hardware company, right? We obviously make cameras, but what we really are is a software company. And we look at things holistically. How can we get great image quality and ease of use in a camera And how do we pair that with very simple to use editing software that will turn average people like me into great editors? And that's what people really love us for. And there's so many people that are switching over from their traditional action cameras to Insta360, and they said, like, Michael, we'll never go back, because it's so easy for me to take the footage off of my camera, put it onto my phone, and view it later, or share it with my friends and family, and tell them all about the cool bike ride, the rides that I've done. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And for specifically for the motorcycling industry, we have so many cool features that we've developed just for riders. I think one very famous shot that a lot of people love these days is the tail mounted shot, right? Where you clip the camera using one of our industrial grade motorcycle mounts onto the back of your bike, or wherever there's a good mounting point. You extend the selfie stick behind the bike and you attach the camera on the end, and it literally looks like there's a drone following you.
I've seen this. It blows me away. The first time I saw any 360 was years ago, and my friend Haley had just gotten this weird camera, and we were riding in northern Pakistan, and she had this thing attached, and I had no idea what it was going to capture. And then when she was showing us on the computer and how she could like whip around and show any angle, and it's like on top of her head, like she had a drone following her, or like pointing. I mean, I was blown away. We've come a long way from 20 years ago when I was duct taping a camcorder to my tank bag. I couldn't even imagine where we'd be today. And now it's just gotten so much simpler. I know when I've tried using action cameras, and for motorcyclists, the common thing was, is my light on? Is my light on? I can't feel it. I can't see it. I don't know what's going on. But it seems like that's all changed now too.
Yeah. So usability has definitely become much more simple, right? So you can there's a number of ways to know if your camera's recording, to trigger the camera to record. There's voice commands. You can say, hey, X4, start recording, or take a video, and it will start taking a video, and it will give you a nice vibration so that you can feel that through your helmet. It'll play a sound when it starts recording. You can gesture control it. You can literally raise your palm up and have the camera start recording you that way. You could do a peace sign to have it take a photo. If you use the reason other people love us is because if you use a connected headset, like a Cardo Senna,
exactly,
you can speak directly into that headset, and we're deeply integrated with those systems where we have full compatibility. So you'll be able to tell your Cardo or your Senna to record, and the camera will trigger on.
That's something I love. It tells me that you guys are recognizing this segment of the market, the motorcyclists, and working with the companies that we wear on our helmets just to make it even easier. I love that.
That's it. So beyond the software integrations, we also have a full line of accessories that we've custom tailored specifically to the motorcycle industry. We have handlebar mounts that are super heavy duty. We have helmet mounts, seat mounts, chest mounts, any way that you're used to mounting your traditional action camera. We have a specialized accessory that will allow you to continue doing that. And on top of that, if you have a whole line of accessories that you've used with your previous action cameras, like your GoPros, we're fully cross-compatible with those. So if you already have mounts that are built onto your helmet, you don't want to rip those off and replace them with new ones, you don't need to worry about that. So we've thought about kind of every user and every aspect of it. And just going back for a second, we were talking about the drone shot.
Yeah.
I realized that a lot of folks listening might not have used an Insta360 camera, or might not have heard of this no drone, no problem shot. But the way it's possible is because every camera, you will get a selfie stick with it. And that's kind of like, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You want the selfie stick with the camera because you get access to so many cool new features and shots using that selfie stick. And the selfie stick is invisible automatically in every shot. So as soon as you turn on the camera and attach it to the selfie stick, you can live preview your shot, and you will see that the selfie stick has disappeared from the shot. And that's what we're talking about with these like fake drone shots, because if you're seeing the selfie stick in the shot, like with a traditional action camera, it's not the same effect as if this camera is floating behind you, right?
Now, you guys have made the stick disappear, but not the shadow yet. Is that coming?
Gradually, yeah. I always get asked this. The shadow is a little bit more difficult, but I think we can do it eventually.
Yeah, well, if you're software, I mean, I'm sure you'll find a way. That makes it even just cooler. The other thing I was really surprised to learn as I was learning more about Insta360 is that it's not just the 360 camera. You got a lot of other types of action cameras that also look better than any GoPro I've seen.
Yeah, so outside of our core product, which is the X series, the X4 and the X3, we have a whole line of other products that might be better or more accommodating for some users. For example, some folks who like to race their motorcycles, right? You can't put a camera on top of your helmet. You can't put one on your handlebars. So we have this very tiny action camera called the Go 3 and the Go 3S. And that camera is about the size of your small finger. It will magnetically attach to your chest, to hat clips, to sticky mounts, various accessories that we sell with it. But what I've seen a lot of motorcyclists doing, a lot of racers specifically, is they will put it right inside their helmet. They'll put the magnet inside of the material on their helmet. They'll stick the camera right here, so it's not technically on the outside of their helmet. And they're getting this like ultra realistic POV shot from their eye perspective of what they're seeing as they're going around the track. And there's no other camera on the market that can do and get mounted where the Go 3S can. It literally weighs like 35 grams. It is tiny.
Wow. Yeah, and then I have a Insta360 Ace Pro in my hand here, and I love it's got the. Well, tell me about the features of this.
So if traditionally, if you are somebody who's used to using a traditional single lens action camera, we've taken what we feel are some of the drawbacks of the action camera industry, and we've packed a bunch of features into this Ace Pro that we think would make it a more usable action camera. So there's not always going to be scenarios where you need a 360 camera. Like, for example, if you chin mount your camera and you're doing motovlogging, you don't need the other side of the 360. If all you want is an angle that looks back at you from the motorcycle and you don't want anything else, then you can use a regular action camera. And what we've done with the Ace Pro is we've taken our learnings from the simplicity of using a 360 camera and we've applied it to a single lens camera. It's the highest resolution action camera on the market today. It can shoot up to 8K. It has the biggest sensor of any action camera on the market today. So it has a 1/1.3 inch sensor in it, which means that it is the best action camera in the world for low light. So if you're doing those sunset rides, or if you're doing the early morning rides, or even if you're riding at night, it's actually going to be able to see at nighttime compared to using a smaller sensor camera like a GoPro. So in those scenarios, it's outstanding. And the other thing that we've done with any of our cameras is we've built an auto editor into the camera. So once you're done shooting your footage for the day, you can load all the footage into our app, and the app will automatically make you an edit using what it deems are the best portions of each clip. So we've essentially fully automated the whole process.
So it's like AI editing.
Yeah, it's a very sophisticated trained AI algorithm that uses multiple different reference points to determine not only the best portion of each clip. So if you shoot a 2-minute clip, it'll find the best 5 to 7 seconds, but it will also determine within that clip which other aspects of the clip are good. So if you're driving around like really cool looking objects, or you're on a really beautiful road, or you're driving with your friends, it will automatically determine which portion to use. And then on top of that, it will make you a professional edit using music in the background, using transitions, things that most average people like me who have very basic editing skills would never be able to do. And it looks really, really good at the end of the day. And there's customization in it that you can go, like you can determine the length of the video that you want. You can even go and sub in and sub out certain clips, if it's not nailing it the right way. So it's a really, really good baseline for giving you an edit.
I'm kind of blown away from that. because, you know, I've had cameras and I never really got into it because I'd use them. And then it's like, now I got to take all this footage and now I got to sit here and spend the afternoon kind of going through. So that kind of blows my mind. I have to try that. So here's the other thing. And I think we aligned with this, you know, the image of people who use action cameras are the stunters, the people who like to ride fast or go on big adventures or up in the mountains. But I really think, especially with a 360 camera, there's another purpose that every rider should be using it for. And that's, I say, for safety. I mean, we see this all the time. Like in Russia, I think everyone has a cam, right? And they're capturing things on camera. They're capturing accidents. They're capturing proof of who's at fault. Just amazing things. And the thing that, because everything's digital, if nothing happened on your ride to work, you can just delete it and then record again on your way home from work. I think every rider should have a camera like this. Do you agree?
I couldn't agree with you more. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because last week I was driving in LA, which happens to be one of the most dangerous cities for motorcyclists.
Yeah.
And I look over to my right and there was a police officer, and he was on a motorcycle and he had one of our cameras mounted to his motorcycle. And I rolled down my window and I said, "Hey, like that's a great camera. Like, what are you using that for?" And so we actually pulled over and we talked for about 20 minutes about how he was using the camera. And he says, "I have a 90-minute drive to work every morning on the freeway. And this camera has saved me for insurance purposes several times already, because he's able to capture everything and then go back and reference that moment later." And what's amazing is we've actually thought about this. We've implemented a mode inside of the camera. So if you want to use it as a dash cam, there's a mode called loop recording. And what the loop recording will do is it will give you the option of recording, let's say, a 30-minute video.
Right.
And every 30 minutes, it will slide the scale and continue deleting previous footage that it recorded. And if an incident happens, or if something goes wrong and you want that footage, then you can immediately click save. And what that does is, because nobody wants 4 hours of just random footage that's on their memory card at the end of the day. So by deleting the previous portion and only saving the portion that matters, it actually saves you a lot of time. It works just like a dash cam. So we personally think that every rider for safety purposes should have a 360 camera, whether it's mounted on your helmet or mounted on your handlebars or off the rear of the bike or wherever you want it. And I think it will. It's worth the $400 investment that you'll make on an action camera for peace of mind at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. The price is like, it's in line with every other camera, but it captures everything around you and it has all this technology. I really love it. It's over the years, all the little, it's really cool, I'm capturing everything, but did I catch it? Am I recording? I can't tell. All of those, it seems like all the things have been solved.
Yeah, and so we offer a very competitive price point. So, and we offer more features than you would get with a traditional action camera. And then the icing on the cake is that all of the software that we put out is all free. So we have a free mobile app, all of the AI editing features, everything that I talked about earlier on the podcast, all of that is free. And if you happen to be one of those folks who prefers to edit on their computers, there is always the small amount of people who prefer that. We also have a free desktop editing software. We have free plugins for Adobe Premiere that allow you to reframe and choose your angles in your footage. So you're getting a lot more value with an Insta360 camera than you would get with any other camera. And on top of that, because we're a software company, we continue to improve the product over the course of its life. So the product that you start with and the product that you end with a year or 2 years later, it's totally different. We put out new frame rates, new modes, new resolutions. It's not just routine bug fixes. It's actually adding in features that other camera companies would wait to add in until they have a new generation of that camera. So longevity is a really, really important consideration to make, right? So like you get an Insta360 camera, you don't have to upgrade that for a couple of years at minimum, right? Like you would with any other action camera. So we really pride ourselves on that. And I think we're able to do that because 50% of our company are actually engineers. So we have almost 2,000 people working for Insta360 in the 9 years that we've been around. It's only been 9 years, but we're now the number one action camera company in the world, and it's because of the level of innovation and how we're just able to outpace any other development brand out there.
Well, I want to say, I mean, I really appreciate the effort that's being made to get into the motorcycle market. I saw Insta360 ads at Moto America. I see YouTube videos all the time. Just this last weekend when I was in Ohio, I saw Craig, the bearded mechanic, who I know he uses it. And, of course, Ryan from Fortnine, and so many people are using it. You guys have really made a great effort to get into that segment, and to be acknowledged is really nice. So I appreciate that.
I'm glad to hear that. We spend a lot of time researching and talking to users in the motorcycle industry and developing products. And actually, one really cool thing is that a lot of these accessories and a lot of the features that are available today they came at the request of users. So if you guys are part of the Insta360 Facebook community, that's where we get suggestions for a lot of our features. And if you're not, you can join and you can get into the discussion. There's over 100,000 members on there. And if you need basic things like tips and tricks and advice, or if you have a question about your product, you'll get a response within minutes. But sometimes we put out surveys, and sometimes users are like, oh, can you guys please build in this feature, like the loop recording function? Right. Or can you please make a better, more industrial grade motorcycle handlebar clamp? And that's like 90% of what we do is all user feedback. So if you were one of those folks that recommended any of those features, I want to say a big thank you, because without the users, like, I think this is where a lot of other brands go wrong, is that they have their closed off development team, and they think they know what features and accessories and improvements they need to build into the product. But until you talk to the actual end user, you're only guessing at that point, and your research can only get you so far. So that's our whole development strategy, is that let's let the users just tell us what to do, and we'll do that.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming on and explaining everything. This is kind of a world that I've dabbled in, but never really jumped in. And now I've got a box of products to try, and I want to be more of a responsible rider myself. And I think having a camera running all the time is being a responsible rider. So this is the perfect tool to use for that. So yeah, thank you very much for explaining everything. You want to give a plug where people can go to buy stuff?
Yeah, actually, if you're interested in learning more about what the product can do for you, go check out our social media channels. Go on our YouTube. It's youtube.com/Insta360. We have a plethora of videos on there. From anywhere from beginner level stuff to where do I mount the camera, all the way through to how do I make better quality edits using the Insta360 software. And if you're interested in purchasing the product, you can go to store.insta360.com. And you'll see all the products that we have and all the accessories. We have, a motorcycle specific bundle that you can check out. Yeah. There's also kind of mix and match options. So anything that you'll need, you'll be able to find on the Insta360 site. And if you want to get inspiration for the type of content that you can create, you can also follow us at Instagram or any of our other social channels. We're just, whatever the social media channel is, /Insta360. And you'll see a ton of content out there.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
So yeah, thank you Insta360 for sponsoring us. Get a camera.
Yeah, get two.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, actually, funny you should say that. Because if you're not able to enter our contest, we have another option. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So we have another deal for you. If you want to buy an Insta360, maybe you don't want to write a poem. That's all right. You can go to Insta360.com to buy either an Insta360 X4 or the Ace Pro and use the promo code MISFITS at checkout, and you will get a free 64 gig memory card with your purchase. It's that simple. Either camera you want, you get a free memory card. This offer is valid until November 2nd. So you got quite some time to 2024. This incentive can be combined with other sales in their store. And this offer is only applicable for the first 30 camera purchases and it only applies to the X and Ace series cameras. So, yeah, go to insta360.com. Check out what they have.
That's actually quite a chunk of money.
Promo code Misfits. There you go. We've got time to read some emails, and we have a bunch. So I wanted to get to...
I'm going to read my email, and I'm going to jet. And I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. Because I built a very nice high-performance engine for Henry.
Yeah.
And Henry said, can you bring it to Misfits? And I said, sure. And I realized it was far too heavy for me to pick up. Oh. So it's still on my workbench at Motortown. So Henry is following me over right now, and we're going to do a dual, put it in the back of his car. So...
Great. Go ahead.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
And... Scott Sheldon is my new hero because apparently while I was away, you always talk about the oddest things when I'm away. Yeah. And you talked about balancing beads, which in my opinion are the instrument of the devil.
We've had different reviews of people who've used them.
So anyway, message. I have had dyno beads in 2 different motorcycles. They were in the tires when I purchased the bikes. Both tires had an odd vibration when riding. In both cases, the vibration was fixed by removing the beads and properly balancing the tires. The beads made a terrible mess on my workshop floor, and they made an ice skating rink around the tire changer, which I'm still finding years later. Thank you, Scott, for being the voice of reason. There you go. Tra-la-la. I've opened a can of worms there.
I'm with him.
All right. So, Emma, you got a jet?
Yeah, I'm going to jet.
Okay.
I love you all. Thank you all for being patient while I was away. You're going to get a full ride report on Europe in a couple of weeks. And again, as a reminder, there are spots open in October for Tuscany. Sign up. Have a great time. Change your life.
LeotaEscapes.com.
LeotaEscapes.com. Misfits Adventure Tours. Bye.
All right. See you, Emma. All right, so I have one from Stephanie, who we met at AMA Vintage Days. Remember, she came with Chris Comley?
Yep.
Right.
On the giant bagger thingy,
yep,
right?
Yep.
I asked her if she was entering in the races. She was really cool. So she says, Dear Liza, Bagel, John, Anastasia, Luke, and anybody else who I met, it was great to meet you at AMA Vintage Days. I really enjoyed the one Friday that I could be there. I did the lap for history. I demoed the Royal Enfield Himalayan and the Triumph Tiger 900. Bought one of Wendy Crockett's books, Pushing Miles. I watched a few minutes of the hair scrambles and the bagger practice. Walked through most of the 1,000 swap meet vendors and finished the day with a margarita as big as a sink and some delicious tacos. I had to ride home Saturday to get back to one of my jobs. She's a safety marshal at Pocono Raceway.
Pocono.
Yep. And her husband, Todd, her and her husband, Todd, are in demand because the car guys don't like to work the motorcycle events. Apparently, the speed of the bike scares them.
No, it's so scary.
That's okay. The car events bore me to death. She goes, anyway, next year, Todd and I will come for the whole show, and we'll bring bikes more suited to the chunky gravel, slippery mud, and lawless mayhem of the mid-Ohio grounds.
Nice.
I'll tell you, when Chris Comley headed down that first wet, chunky road to the camping area, and I realized that my FX RP's rear brakes were not functioning at all, I nearly had a heart attack. That bike on gravel is as much fun as an angry gorilla in a telephone booth.
Oh, boy.
My only regret of the weekend was that I didn't get to meet Miss Emma, who apparently wanted to see what an FX RP was. By the way, I was thinking about motorcycle podcasts on the way home and why yours is the only one I've really liked. I think it's because most of you guys are just one smooth... Oh, he says, she said, I think it's because most of them are just one smooth, boring guy interviewing somebody, asking very straight and serious questions. But you guys are a riotous, very crew, have a ton of personal experience and technical knowledge, who are genuinely interested in your guests, but are not afraid to ask them questions like... What's your up the butt bike? Oh, how perfect. She goes, now I'm going to have to try Cleveland Moto. I really enjoyed talking to Phil. Thanks for all the kindness and hospitality. I hope to see you again soon. Meanwhile, I'll keep yelling at my podcast when I think you're wrong and then sending you emails.
There you go.
Hey.
Please do.
That's cool. Thanks, Stephanie. All right. Bagel, you have one there?
I do. I have an email here from Ethan Mayer.
Hey, Ethan.
Hi.
Ethan writes, "Hello, Misfits. Ethan from Portland here. First off, hope you all had a great time at BMD. Hoping to meet you all out there in the next couple of years. Second off, happy belated birthday to Liza, my birthday twin.
Thank you.
And third off, major thanks to Bagel for the recommendation of the Mackenzie Pass Highway, a.k.a. Oregon Route 242. I'm not sure when you mentioned it, but I'm sure glad you did. For my birthday this year, I rented a late 90s VFR 800 from Twisted Road and set out early for a day ride. Of course, my first goal was to ride this highway that the crazy scooterist talks about. I headed down 15 from Portland to Eugene, which gave me a chance to get used to the bike. From Eugene, or actually I-5 from Portland to Eugene, which then you get a chance to get used to the bike. From Eugene, headed east along the swooping turns of the Mackenzie River Highway. After a bit, a tiny road cuts right and Oregon Route 242 begins. My, oh my. This is truly a spectacular ride. It's basically a freshly paved forest service road winding tightly through a lush forest wilderness, up through alpine meadows, and ending up at a scene I didn't know existed outside of Hawaii.
What?
And I've lived here my whole life.
Volcanoes?
Sharp jumbles of lava rocks and desolation as far as the eye could see in all directions, interrupted only by the snowy peaks of Mount Jefferson and the Three Sisters.
Whoa.
Just incredible. That was such a hoot that I kept going down the other side to Prineville, home of Les Schwab. It wasn't even noon. So I continued east through the Ponderosa Pine Forest of the Ochoco Mountains to Mitchell, Oregon. It only got better from here as I went north to Fossil, Oregon. This area looks straight out of Utah with striated rock formations, flat-top buttes, and twisty roads for miles and miles and miles.
We're still in Oregon?
Yes.
Wow.
Highly recommend riding out this way to anyone in the vicinity, and especially Bagel if you haven't already. I don't think I've been on this road. I want to check that out. You would love it. Anyway, all said and done, it was a 500-mile birthday ride and no better way to spend the summer day on an old sport touring classic. Thanks for all the recommendations, and stay cool, Misfits.
Ah, cool. You should say that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got one there, Jim?
I do short and sweet, which we always appreciate. This is from Patty. Yeah, Patty.
Hey,
Hey. Huge thanks to everyone. You guys made Vintage Days feel like home. Fantastic to see those who made it, and even met some New Jersey nurse friends to ride with.
Yeah.
Nice.
John nailed my cheapskate ADHD KTM fetish, and I even made an addition. I am now a scooterist as well.
Awesome.
Oh, that's right. You got a good deal.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Fun being dragged down to the burnout pits by Liza, who promptly started directing traffic. Big surprise. Seeing the Heinkel in person, and I love me some Stump. Stay safe, guys. Patty from New Jersey.
Hey,
Thanks, Patty.
Cheers.
All right. You got one there, John?
I do. Liza and crew. This is from Joshua Clark.
Hey, Josh.
It was great seeing the Misfits again at Vintage Days. You are so welcoming along with the Cleveland Moto hosts, and it really allows people to relax and enjoy. As soon as I arrived and saw Liza, she gave me a big hug. Got to hang with Bagel, Stumpy John, Jake, and Wendy Crockett. Met new people who have gone on adventures with the Misfits. All are easygoing and generous. I know there were others out there for the first time, and this was Minty's first time as well. Minty enjoyed people watching. People watching is wonderful there, and all the craziness. She told me she wants to go next year. I'm already looking forward for the fun to come. Joshua Clark from PA.
Awesome.
Hey, Josh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great to hang with both of you.
All right. We got one last one. Bagel.
Yes. I have an email titled Suzuki Bergman from Christopher Shaw. And he says, been listening to your banter about Suzuki Bergmans. This is the Bergman I built during COVID. What else did I have to do? And he shows pictures of a Bergman that's got saddlebags on both sides and looks like a top case on the back, and has a very large shopping cart of groceries in front of it that looks like it has a 50-pound bag of dog food and about 8 bags of groceries, and the caption that says, "Will it all fit?" And the picture below is a picture of an empty shopping cart and a bike, and it says, "Yep."
Here's what's cool. If you look at that, John, you can see the pictures. It looks like he took all the cases, side and top, including like armrests and everything, from a Harley touring bike.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And made it all fit, and it looks
on a Bergman.
good.
Oh, this looks a lot cooler than I thought it was when you rigged it. Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
It's like the Bergman Goldwing.
Yeah.
It's a Bergwing.
The Bergwing.
Bergwing.
Very cool.
Right.
That's awesome.
So, how cool was that? Cool interview with Ryan.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I'm
He
really glad
is a great guy.
talked to him.
I really enjoy.
yeah,
I really
smart.
enjoy the videos, and I liked how much he appreciated us, like getting into like just talking about that last video I did, and recognizing like the production that he puts into it and the thought.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
Yep, good time.
But I'm just glad we're all back.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's great to be here.
Until I leave
And
again.
Bagel's live, yes.
Yes.
I know. Bagel's here. Good times. This is why I am happy. You know what's going to make me even happier? Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But first, go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. Find the link to everything there. If you would like to support us on Patreon, we love you guys. I just unlocked a bunch of new spots on the Ask Miss Emma tier that I had locked down. Yes. Because she's been keeping up with that. I just don't want it to be too much for her. But if you go join us, Patreon, $5 or more, you're still eligible to get a free t-shirt, though I am out of size mediums. That's still not a reason not to support us. So thank you very much and keep it coming. And I used our Patreon subscribers by asking them for questions, and they provided. We got some
Good
really good
ones,
questions.
too. Yeah, I like
know.
that.
I think I might do that more.
Yeah.
So go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com, find everything there, and send us your emails at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
And haikus and limericks.
Send us your haikus and limericks so you can win a camera and be a safe and responsible rider. It all comes together. Or maybe...
Do some hooligan shit. We can record that too. Works too.
There it
Might be a
is.
lot more interesting.
There it is. So on that note, thank you everyone for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Time to get out of here. This is Liza.
Stumpy John.
Bagel.
Make a gym, son.
And we are out of here.
Cool.